All right, an update now on breaking news this morning. Just north of downtown Austin. Austin police say a man was hit by a freight train around 5 a.m. this morning north of downtown. This is a live look at the scene. You can see some people there assessing the incident there. The freight train stopped on the tracks near Cherrywood Road and Clarkson Avenue. Again, not a Cap Metro. There we go. You can see the train there, the freight train in the background. Not a Cap Metro train now. This is a freight train owned by another entity. Police say the man who was hit is alive and has non-life-threatening injuries. So that's a bit of good news this morning. Now, Cap Metro says this is disrupting service this morning between the Crestview station and the downtown station. Anyone who gets on or off or rides through those stations will have to take a bus from the platform to their destination. Cap Metro officials do not have a time on when rail service will resume, but as you can see, the train is stopped on the track, so this could be a bit more time as we're waiting on that to be cleared and service to resume. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
And we are in contact with Cap Metro officials. They are out there on the scene helping to coordinate that bus for anyone that needs that travel, but giving you another vantage point, really not too far from the Miller neighborhood. Of course, downtown's on the other side of the highway there, but quite a situation developing there. And then still looking at this full closure on 183 southbound. This is for anyone heading south of the Austin terminal, heading towards Colton or Mustang Ridge. Really seeing a mess out there so far today. And of course, you know, our typical slowdowns coming in from South Austin. Casey, what do you have?
Yeah, you know, finally a little bit of rain today. It won't be much, but the best chance we've seen in a little over a week. Temperatures will be back into those middle 90s today. We'll continue with the chance for some showers and storms into tomorrow before we're looking drier and hotter as we head into beginning Thursday, but especially Friday and Saturday. Those highs back to around 98 degrees as we head into the weekend.
All right, thanks for joining us this morning for KVUE News Daybreak. Don't forget, we're joining you live coming up in just a few minutes on KVUE Plus. We'll see you there.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KVUE Plus app everywhere you stream.
And this morning at 7:01, we begin Daybreak Plus with breaking news. A freight train hit a man on the tracks in central East Austin.
Now, the good news is the man is expected to be okay. They tell us non-life-threatening injuries, which is great. But the situation is disrupting Cap Metro rail services for the morning commute in a very busy area just north of downtown. KVUE's Jessica Cha joins us now live from the scene there. So tell us, Jessica, you can see the train behind you still on the tracks there. What do you know? We know the man was hit, but they say he's going to be okay, right?
Yes, Brian, that is right. We were just told by APD an hour ago all of these details that the man is going to be okay, but we're at the Cherrywood crossing in central East Austin right now where, as you can see, there is this massive train that is at a standstill. And we're told by Cap Metro that it is operated by Waco, so they're just trying to navigate and figure out, what to do from at this point. But like we said less than an hour ago, we were told by APD that around 5 a.m. the train hit a man. Austin police say that he is alive and he has non-threatening injuries. But Cap Metro told us that there are 4 crossings that are blocked as of now, including I-35. They say there are buses available for folks taking the Crestview line needing to get into downtown. There's not an ETA yet to when services will resume, but they say they need to inspect the train and inspect the tracks in order to get this thing up and moving again. So we'll have more information as we get it, but as for now, people can just take the bus as Cap Metro recommended, and we'll just have to wait until they get things figured out here and have that train moving along.
Quite the morning. Thank you so much, Jessica. And let's talk more about the travel impact here. So we want to emphasize once again, this isn't the Cap Metro train. As she told us there, it's operated by Waco, so a separate freight train incident, but it is going to be impacting anyone that might be trying to head to that downtown area. And then we also have this developing just down the way from this simultaneous issue here. We have a separate crash just closing off this right-hand shoulder for southbound travel at 51st Street. So heading out towards anywhere near the Miller area today. Really seeing a lot of activity so far this morning. And once again, that person was hit by the train and is expected to be okay, which is just kind of a miraculous incident this morning. And once again, just to give you an idea here, so we've got Miller over here, and then we've got downtown across from I-35. And that intersection, once again, is at Clarkson and Cherrywood. And that is where that train is just at a standstill. Aside from that, we also have a pretty serious crash developing for anyone heading out towards Colton. And if you're not familiar, so the Austin airport's here. This is the South Austin terminal at Burleson. And then so this is going to be anyone heading south of there. Colton's here, and then Mustang Ridge is under there. So heads up for you there at William Cannon Drive and McKenzie Road, seeing some really big backups because of that. On top of that, seeing several miles of our typical stop and go coming in from South Austin so far today. We had some backups in San Marcos a little bit earlier. Looks like that has cleared up, but really just starting to see some of those area-wide slowdowns. And yep, the main story this morning is that train incident, which is just unbelievable. So we're also going to send it over to KC because that's not the only thing going on today. We could see some of that wet stuff from the sky, huh?
Yeah, finally, I think a little bit of a higher chance for rain. I know we've had kind of a sporadic shower over the past couple of days. For a couple of areas, it's been very localized. Some lucky areas have seen the occasional stray shower, but our rain chances start to increase today to a 30% chance. That's the best rain chance we have had in over a week. I know it's not very high, but hey, we will take it, especially now as we're heading into the deep summer seasons. July and August is when we really start to see things dry out here in central Texas. Out the door, we are currently dry. Morning commute, you won't have any issues. As we take a zoomed out look across Texas and focus on what's going on along the coast, notice some showers working their way in. This is going to be our source of moisture today. We've got winds out of the southeast along with a little upper level disturbance that'll help kind of fling some of this in our direction in the form of some showers and storms by this afternoon. So we are anticipating those rain chances to pick up, especially after about 2-3 o'clock through about 6 p.m. today. Highs reaching near 95 degrees, isolated showers and storms. I'll have a full breakdown of what you can expect with your latest future track model and show you what areas have the best chances of seeing some needed rain. That's all coming up.
Okay, Casey, thanks a lot. The truck driver accused of causing a deadly crash with a Hayes ISD school bus last year could face up to 18 years in prison. Jerry Hernandez accepted a plea deal yesterday. KVUE's Malia Masamoto joins us live this morning from Bastrop with more on what we know about this plea deal. Good morning, Malia.
Good morning, Brian. Well, Jerry Hernandez was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter. He pled guilty to both of those. Now, the sentence would be 18 years for each charge, but those he'd be serving concurrently. Now, according to court documents, FJM Concrete, the company that owns the truck Hernandez was driving, did not finish a full background check on him. Now, the documents say Hernandez admitted to using marijuana the night before the crash, cocaine in the morning, and only sleeping for 3 hours. FJM Concrete is also facing multiple civil lawsuits. Joshua Harrison, an attorney who represents the family of an injured child, said there needs to be higher liability insurance on these commercial vehicles.
Why we haven't mandated, or why it's taken us this long to mandate seatbelts in school buses is quite shocking, but I'm glad we're heading in the right direction, making sure that, we do what we can to make our children safe, and that's by requiring restraints.
The families of many preschool students and teachers on the bus are all seeking compensation, but the law only required FJM Concrete to have $500,000 in insurance coverage, which Harrison says won't be enough money for all the victims. Now, Hernandez was also charged with criminally negligent homicide, but the state moved to drop those charges. The judge sent a sentencing date for September 18th. Reporting live in Bastrop, Malia Masimoto, KVUE News.
All right, Malia, thank you very much for that update live from Bastrop this morning. Now, in light of that deadly Hayes CISD bus crash last year, soon all Texas school districts will have to equip more school buses with seatbelts. The governor signed Senate Bill 546 into law just late last week. Now, right now, school buses purchased after 2018 must have 3-point seatbelts. And beginning in September, that will extend to all school buses. The law will also require districts to have buses without seatbelts to file a report with the TEA about how much it would cost to add the seatbelts. Districts can accept gifts, grants, and donations to try and add those seatbelts. By the year 2027, the TEA will draft a report for state leaders to say how much it would cost for all school buses in the state to have those seatbelts. Let us take a live look now at our state capitol. You can see as the sun rises, the shadows cast upon the Capitol building. State lawmakers will be back there to reconvene for a special session on July 21st. Governor Abbott says he's calling the special session because he wants lawmakers to rework several bills he vetoed, including Senate Bill 3, the ban on THC in Texas. Supporters and opponents of a statewide ban are now looking to next month's special session. Regulating the THC industry is on that agenda after the governor vetoed Senate Bill 3, which would have been the statewide ban, just a few hours before Sunday's midnight deadline. Governor Abbott called Senate Bill 3 well-intentioned, but wrote that legal challenges would have kept it from going into effect. Employees at one Austin THC business expressed relief after months of uncertainty on whether their business would survive. Meantime, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick spoke yesterday. He made Senate Bill 3 a priority, and yesterday said he wasn't angry with the governor, but not happy with the veto.
And I'm stunned. I'm stunned that he wants to legalize marijuana in the state of Texas. So I'm not having a bad day. Texas is having a bad day.
Again, that was Patrick yesterday. Now, one hemp grower in the area tells us he's relieved with the governor's decision to veto SB 3, while Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says his push to ban THC in Texas isn't over yet. Here's KVUE's Isabella Basco with more on that story.
Jeremy Greens runs his hemp growing business in Manor. For him, Senate Bill 3, which would have banned consumable THC products in Texas, drew a line in the sand, creating stress in a business he and his colleagues put everything into.
We were also told that as growers, the SB 3 was not going to affect us, and that was absolutely false. They would have crippled, if not destroyed, the whole hemp industry in Texas had this gone through.
To maintain his livelihood, Greens considered operating in another state.
We were scrambling to figure out how to continue cash flow at the same time as readjusting, and it really was just not a pretty picture.
Late Sunday night, Governor Greg Abbott vetoed the bill, which was a priority for Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Now Patrick is openly puzzled by the decision.
Who are we as a state? We think we're going to attract business here if we got a bunch of people high? Look, we'll work with the governor. We'll see what happens in the special session. But where has he been all session?
For Greens, he says the veto of this bill opens the door for a legitimate, well-regulated cannabis market. While the governor wants lawmakers to create stricter regulations to keep THC away from children, Greens is already setting up plans to meet with other Texas growers and manufacturers.
This is a raw passion to help people create impact that's positive and help the overall health of the community.
Taking a stand and fighting for the future of the industry. Reporting in Manor, Isabella Basco for KVUE News.
Now, he tells us that growers and manufacturers will hold a meeting in New Braunfels next weekend to talk about what comes next.
And the San Marcos Fire Department is rolling out a new vehicle aimed at protecting firefighters and other first responders during highway emergencies. The blocker truck is a repurposed fire vehicle designed to protect crews working on busy roadways. San Marcos Fire Chief Les Stevens says their truck, once a ladder unit in Dallas, is now outfitted with bright lights, barricade markings, and message boards to alert drivers. It serves as a physical barrier and visual warning to keep workers safe and help prevent crashes.
To see this as an opportunity, as a message for them to see what we need them to do ahead of time, slow down, follow the instructions that we're giving them with this apparatus, and just go around the accident scene safely. It'll keep them safe and it'll keep us safe.
Stevens says when they usually have to send 2 frontline fire trucks to a roadside incident, which takes a valuable truck and crew out of service, he says the blocker truck will free that crew up to respond to other emergencies and will be cheaper to repair it if it's compared to a frontline truck. People should be able to see the truck in action in the next month. And fireworks are now on sale in Texas. It is that time of year again. You can buy them from today to midnight on July 4th. In Texas, you can legally buy fireworks during certain times of the year. So as we just said, the 10 days leading up to Independence Day and New Year's Eve. You can buy fireworks, however, in Travis County, it's only legal to launch them in unincorporated areas. And also going on, starting July 1st, no more paper license plates in Texas. Drivers will leave the car lot with permanent metal tags installed. Lawmakers hope the change will curb crime, but thieves may still target your plates. Cheryl Mercedes spoke with an expert about a solution to protect them.
In August 2021, a New Orleans police officer visiting Houston was shot and killed. The getaway car had bogus temporary tags, highlighting a big problem. A loophole in Texas law let fake car dealerships print and sell temporary plates, and criminals took advantage of that. Now, a new law aims to stop the fraud by eliminating paper plates.
This is actually just one piece in the puzzle.
Sergeant Tracy Hicks with the Houston Police Department Auto Theft Crimes Task Force says it's a step in the right direction, but criminals will look for a new way to cover up their crimes.
Without paper tags, crooks are going to need, some way to hide the identity of their car, and stealing a hard tag is one way. More than likely, we're going to see is more of a rise of the stolen hard tags.
It may sound like a small crime, but it can lead to big headaches, from toll violations to crimes committed in your name. That's why Sergeant Hicks recommends swapping out the standard screws on your plates with these
tamper-resistant screws for our license plates.
They look almost identical, but the difference is in the head. Once they are installed, they require a special tool to remove, which makes it much harder for a thief to nab.
I'm going to show you how easy it is to make the switch. First, just remove the old screws with a regular screwdriver. Then, just pop in your tamper-proof screw and tighten it. These come with a one-way bit, so once they're in, they're not coming out without a matching tool.
Hopefully, the crook won't have the one that matches your plate. Make him go somewhere else.
Is this the solution to crime prevention as far as license plates are concerned?
So there's a lot of things we can do. Obviously, using our garage. We're all guilty. We have our garage full of our junk, and then we leave our most valuable possession, our vehicle, out in the driveway.
Sergeant Hicks also recommends parking close to a wall and double checking your license plates when you walk outside to make sure they're actually yours. By the way, these tamper-proof screw sets can be easily found online or at a hardware store.
And it is 7:16 on this Tuesday morning. For the first time since opening 15 years ago, I just can't get over this. Texas Humane Heroes now has air conditioning, as they should. The shelter in Leander received 3 AC units donated from Austin Air Conditioning. The donation is valued at nearly $50,000 and will help keep the pets cool.
We have some dogs who have been here for 2 and 3 years. And so those dogs, they have spent a large portion of their life here with us. And it's not a good environment for the dogs that are here long term to be in such heated conditions for long periods of time.
Texas Humane Heroes is currently waiving adoption fees for dogs that weigh more than 40 pounds, since it typically sometimes takes longer for the big dogs to get adopted. The shelter will also provide food for 6 months and 3 years of vaccinations. And we are 4 weeks away from the Major League Soccer All-Star Match. This year's festivities will take place at that beautiful Q2 stadium. If you haven't been, you got to go at least once. And it's the best players from Major League Soccer versus the best players from Mexico's top soccer league. So a lot of fun. The big news leading up to the game starts dropping today at 10 a.m. MLS will show us the jersey for this year's event. Tomorrow, the All-Star roster is announced. It's all leading up to the game, which kicks off at 8 p.m. on July 23rd. And once again, thank you so much for joining us here on Daybreak Plus. We're going to do a quick cut-in with news and traffic and all that good stuff, and of course the weather, and then we'll be right back here on KVUE Daybreak Plus in a couple of moments. Thank you. Good Tuesday morning, Central Texas. Your time now is 7:23, and we've had a pretty busy morning across our roadways. Taking a live look right now, I-35 seeing some minor delays here because of a right-hand shoulder that's blocked near 51st Street. And then just down the way from there, if you're just waking up, we've been following a train crash that happened a little bit earlier this morning. A freight train actually hit a person, and we are told, confirmed by Austin police, that person sounds like is going to be okay, which is amazing. But that train is still at a screeching halt here at Clarkson and Cherrywood, not too far from the Miller area. Cap Metro is on the property there on the scene, kind of coordinating any travel today that needs to happen, and they have a bus out there, but it wasn't a Cap Metro train. I do want to emphasize that. We also have a closure right now, 183 southbound at William Cannon. If you're heading out towards Colton or maybe Mustang Ridge south of the Austin terminal, seeing some delays there. And then kind of as always, seeing that stop and go coming in from South Austin. We were seeing some slowdowns earlier in San Marcos, but that is cleared up. But you can see Buda 24 miles per hour, and Round Rock, y'all are slowing down as well in the southbound lanes at 29. All right, Casey, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, you know, we've got finally some decent rain chances on the way. Decent, and I mean by that 30% chance. The highest we've seen, though, in a little over a week. We're currently dry. As we take a look, though, out across the coast of Texas, that's where we're finding our next source of moisture. These showers will be working their way in from the south and east, eventually arriving here in central Texas by this afternoon, where a few of us could get some pretty healthy downpours across the area and some needed rain. These first start in the coastal plains closer to about 2 o'clock, and then they'll be working their way off towards the west over time. A few of them eventually arrive across the I-35 corridor 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Not as much across the hill country. Best chances today along and east of I-35. Additional chances for more showers and storms for Wednesday, and then dry for Thursday.
Welcome back on this Tuesday morning, 7:26 now. And if you're just waking up, a big story this morning. A freight train hit a man on the tracks in central East Austin.
Now, the good news is the man is expected to be okay, but the situation has been disrupting Cap Metro rail services for most of the last 2.5 hours or so. KVUE's Jessica Child joins us live from the scene there just north of downtown. The train's still behind you there, hasn't moved an inch, at least since we've been watching. Jessica, what is the very latest there?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. Yeah, we're at the Cherrywood train crossing station in central East Austin, like we mentioned. And yeah, the train has not moved at all. It's still at a standstill, and it has been since 5 this morning. We did talk to Cap Metro, and they said that this train is operated by Waco, so they are trying to, navigate how to get this train moving again soon. But we did end up talking to some neighbors who live directly next to the track, and they're saying that they get woken up by this train almost every single day. And today they found it unusual that they didn't really hear anything this morning, and when they looked out their window, they saw that there's tons of police cars up and down the road because of this incident. They said that they did see somebody get pulled from the track. APD mentioned that they are the man was hit by the train, but he is uninjured with he does not have any life-injuring life-threatening injuries, but they said they saw him get pulled from the tracks. They said that there is some foot traffic in this area. There's some joggers. There are people who do walk up and down the track sometimes, but he says that nobody should really be walking around so early in the morning on those train tracks. But because of this crash, Cap Metro says that there are 4 crossings that are blocked as of now, including the I-35 train crossing. They say there are buses available for folks who are taking the Crestview line down to get into downtown, and so there are buses available for people to take. But as of now, there is no estimated time to when this will be cleared up. They have to inspect the track, inspect the train, and just figure things out on that end. But that's what we have so far, and as we get more information, we'll be sure to update you on KVUE.com.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Let's talk more about the traffic impact of that this morning. And once again, this is south of the Miller area. And so just wanted to give you kind of eyes on it. And this is one of several things we have going on. But as far as crashes are concerned, luckily it's been pretty quiet. So here's the incident right here. It's right near Cherrywood and Clarkson. So Miller is to the east, and then the downtown area is to the west across I-35. And once again, if you are heading out there, Cap Metro officials are on the scene to help coordinate with those buses for anyone that might need help with that Crestview travel, or if you're heading to the downtown area. So definitely going to be working that. And then I did want to give you an update. We still have a closure on 183 southbound at Colton that is still working at William Cannon Drive. So big heads up for anyone that might be heading out towards the Mustang Ridge area. Also still seeing some stop and go in the northbound lanes coming in from South Austin today and Round Rock. You guys are also slowing down.
And happy Tuesday. Today also kind of a nicer outlook as far as her rain chances go. We've got some needed rain on the way today and tomorrow, as opposed to the pretty dry weather pattern that we've had recently. I think today featuring the best rain chances we've seen in a little over a week. So good news here as we kick off this Tuesday to a dry start. We will be looking at some showers and storms rolling through, but not until the afternoon. Notice these are already beginning to make their way in across the Texas coast. We've got this swirl out across parts now of the western Gulf. This is an upper level area of low pressure that's going to be tracking across North Mexico, South Texas, and leading to this enhanced chance for some showers and possibly even some storms today. Those rain chances picking up, especially after about 2-3 o'clock. Our highest chance, at least for the Austin area, likely going to be between 4 to 6 p.m. today, where again, we will be tracking some spotty showers, possibly even some thunderstorms. Nothing expected to be severe, but some decent downpours looking likely for today across some of our area. So some rains and storms return today. Those rain chances that are currently elevated from at least what they have been remain with us through about tomorrow. So we have this slightly more active weather pattern sticking around through Wednesday. And then after that, we're talking about a drying trend and a warming trend as we head into this upcoming weekend. I'll have the full timing as far as our rain goes today, break that down in your latest future track model, and then show you the heat that is set to make a comeback for your weekend weather. That's all coming up.
All right, Casey, thanks a lot for that. We appreciate it. Hannah, you going to join me over here? You going to hang out? What's going on? What's happening?
I'll come over here.
Hannah's been so busy.
Oh my God.
This morning, you should see it. It's like she's blazed a trail all across.
I'm like a little tornado.
The studio. Is everything okay? Can I get you anything?
No, I got my little spaghetti and my little water.
Oh, I thought I smelled something.
Did you bring your special fruit today?
Was that homemade spaghetti?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it
I made it last night.
So good.
Yeah, I put a lot of peppers in it. I like it really spicy.
Do you do meatballs or just spaghetti and sauce?
Yeah, ground beef.
Yes. Oh, it smelled so good.
Thank you.
But great work this morning, as always. Now,
Thank you.
In other news here on Daybreak Plus, for decades, Dave Barry made millions laugh with his syndicated newspaper column filled with bizarre stories, clever commentary, and, just the right amount of chaos.
Now, the Pulitzer Prize-winning humorist is looking back on all of this in his new memoir, The Class Clown. ABC's Danny New sat down with Barry to talk about the wild stories behind the headlines.
So who are we laughing at?
Just something somebody wrote.
Who? Dave Barry?
For decades, Dave Barry has been the guy associated with delivering humor in the form of the written word, and he can't believe it either.
In my mid-30s is when it kind of hit that I don't have to work anymore. I can just
be this idiot.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is selling himself a little short there. His column for the Miami Herald was syndicated by hundreds of newspapers, even leading to Magic Johnson and Hugh Hefner endorsing him for president, totally seriously. But today, 20 years after that column's end, the now 77-year-old is chronicling his sometimes ridiculous career with his memoir, Class Clown. It goes into details about so much of the wacky hijinks, like his membership to the rock band of famous writers called the Rock Bottom Remainders. It has featured best-selling authors like Mitch Albom, Amy Tan, and Stephen King.
How is Stephen King as a musician?
He's not that good at music. But then none of us really are.
The book also discusses what it was like having a sitcom about his life called Dave's World, which he apparently was relieved to see end after 4 seasons.
Because then I didn't have to bear the burden of constantly explaining to people, no, I actually don't write the show. It's not really about my life.
And of course, you learn about the origins of many of his classic columns.
Rollerblade Barbie.
Like when a reader wrote in that you could set underpants on fire with the eventually discontinued Rollerblade Barbie.
I am, I said.
Or when Dave criticized the lyrics of this Neil Diamond song and received hundreds of angry letters from his loyal fans.
I'm still getting some angry reaction from Neil Diamond people.
Today, in case you don't know, is International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
But Dave believes the perhaps most enduring legacy of his columns will be his role in popularizing International Talk Like a Pirate Day, after 2 readers wrote in saying that they had created this now infamous holiday.
And I like to think the world is a little bit more stupid because of it.
By the way, if you notice, the cover of the book is Dave's 2nd grade yearbook photo where he was wearing a Davy Crockett t-shirt. There was a TV show about Davy Crockett back then, and Dave told me, quote, in 1954, he was like our Taylor Swift. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Our Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. That's good. You know what? I guess if you bring a little humor to life, especially these days.
We need it more than ever.
That's right. It's not a bad thing, right?
We need to laugh. And I'll tell you what, Arlington, home to the Rangers, the Cowboys, and now the Smurfs, apparently.
All things blue, I guess. Sean Giggy shows us how to dive into their tiny world.
Something big has come to Arlington. But in order to see it, you've got to get
small. Even though you are small walking through Smurf Village, you have a really big adventure.
Spokesperson Dana Cobb says most people have heard of the Smurfs, but the Smurf experience? That's a new one, literally. This is its American debut. So, what is it?
So there are 9 mission-based zones throughout the Smurf experience.
Those zones are full of scavenger hunts, obstacle courses, virtual Smurfs, real Smurfs, and challenges to overcome and puzzles to solve.
It's really quite fun.
Located in Arlington's entertainment district, it's fun for kids and nostalgic for adults.
It really is something for everyone. It was a Smurfing good time. What can I tell you?
In fact, by the time you're done, you might say, it's Smurfect. In Arlington, I'm Sean Giggy.
How about that, huh?
They're cute. I like the little girlies.
Yeah, the Smurfs have been around. I can remember watching, this is going to date me. I can remember watching the Smurfs whenever you used to have to get up early on Saturday mornings to watch cartoons. And I was a kid and I enjoyed watching the Smurfs. And here they are all these years later, 70 some odd years later, they're still running around.
I know. I feel like, I don't know, they don't really make animation the way they used to. That's why I have my little Disney Plus that I get on there and I like to watch the old cartoons.
The old cartoons are still the best, aren't they? And the Smurfs always have a good story. You know, there's always a good lesson to be learned from the little blue people.
The little blue people. I like it in Arlington now.
Yes.
And a Rhode Island animal shelter is looking for a forever home for a 20-year-old parrot.
I guess that's an old parrot, right?
No, I think parrots live long. I didn't realize.
Do they really?
I
So
think
it's just about to hit its prime, I guess. The colorful animal also has a not so family-friendly vocabulary. Hendrix. Actually, it's a malnourished parrot rescued by Forever Paws, an animal shelter, slowly regrowing his feathers. Now he's described, get this, as the Samuel L. Jackson of birds. Hendrix's speech, it's packed with curse words and other slurs, though he'll politely say thank you and good morning. Good morning, baby. He has to add that in. Despite his R-rated repertoire, the shelter says it's received more than 50 adoption Applications. Somebody mistreated that poor bird and taught it all those dirty words, I guess.
I think that's hilarious, though. I love it.
It
These
is.
parrots, they're like little people. They just soak up everything like a sponge.
They do. It's pretty crazy. Imagine like having that like as a pet, and then you like host a party and you just hear this like
Cussing everyone out.
Yeah, right.
Get out of here, you dirty people. Oh my goodness.
Why is that funny? It's like when little kids say a cuss word, unless it's your child that says it. It's always funny, you know, and I guess a parrot's the same way. I don't know that I've ever heard a parrot use expletives,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
don't think
in
I
real
have.
life.
I don't hang around parrots very much.
I think parrots are cool though, but yeah, they're a little noisy, and hopefully that one can find the perfect home.
Yeah, 20 years. We need to look up the lifespan of a parrot. I didn't
I'm
think to
actually
Google
curious about
that. But 20 years, Casey, seems like an older bird, right?
I think. I don't
No,
know.
I swear they grow old.
It's probably.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up. We'll follow back. Sorry. Okay. In other news.
Yeah, right. In other news, for the birds that are chirping this morning, we've got some rain finally on the way for the birds. We've got that for the frogs, some puddles, and also for the plants. Of course, we certainly do need that. The drought conditions need it, and our lake levels need the rain still too. So far for the month of June, while some of our areas across Central Texas, San Marcos, Milam County, the Hill Country, you've received quite a bit of rain from some of the rain that we had earlier this month. Out in Austin, we are still running below average. We now have over a 2-inch deficit so far for the month of June. So it's good to see that some rain finally makes a comeback to the forecast for today. Yes, we will see a brief change in our weather pattern from what has been just kind of this quieter, hotter weather pattern that's more typical of Central Texas in the summertime to what's going to be a little bit more activity today and tomorrow. Of course, we're currently off to a dry start, but as we take a zoomed out look across the Gulf, this is where we find our next weather maker. It's this low pressure system that's circulating just to the east of the Brownsville area, South Texas. It's going to be scooting through North Mexico and South Texas as we head into later today, and that's what will bring an enhanced chance for some showers and storms. That upper level disturbance coupled with this moisture coming in out of the southeast, that'll lead to these rain chances that'll make a comeback for today and tomorrow. Already starting to see some of those showers pushing across the coast of Texas as we put a 12-hour loop on this. Notice how they slowly work their way in from the south and east, first arriving in the coastal plains, and then we'll see those pushing across parts of the I-35 corridor by late today. 30% chance for some showers and storms. I know that doesn't sound like much, but this is likely the best opportunity that we have had in just about over a week, so we will take it. And into Wednesday, we'll continue with that as well. Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend, we'll start another drying trend that'll take us into the weekend, and with that, you'll see in your 70 forecast the heat making a comeback too. Today, though, pretty seasonable with our temperatures. We're waking up in those middle 70s, typical for this time of year. Some clouds currently overhead. Those eventually will start to fade away, leaving us with a partly sunny sky for this afternoon. Notice after about 2-3 o'clock, we start to see some of this activity first push into our eastern zone. So Milam County, Lee County, Bastrop County, Fayette County, you'll be the first to see some showers and storms today. And then eventually we'll see those work their way out across parts of the I-35 corridor. 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Now again, this activity is going to be spotty. It'll be hit or miss. Not all of us will receive rain, but this is at least a better chance than what we've really had over at least the past week or so. A lot of this activity, I do think, as it tries to work its way into the higher terrain out across the hill country, will start to fall apart. After 8 p.m., we dry things out. Wednesday should be off to another dry start with some showers returning around the lunchtime hour for the coastal plains, and then again increasing in coverage a little bit more, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Some decent downpours. Could hear some rumbles of thunder. We could have a couple storms out of this. Certainly not expecting anything severe though, as these continue to work their way through. Just some needed friendly rain expected across the area. Highs today back to 95 degrees. That's just a degree above our average for this time of year. 70s overnight with clouds building back in for your Wednesday morning, and highs remaining seasonable right at our average for your Wednesday afternoon. Now after Wednesday, Thursday, we start to see things dry out. I still think a couple showers and storms possible on Thursday, but we're really drying things out by Friday and the start of the weekend. Temperatures climb back to around 98 degrees. So some areas we could get very close to the triple digits. We have yet to see those. Remember, so far for the month of June, we've managed to stay below 100 degrees. So hopefully we continue with that trend through Friday and Saturday. Sunday, Monday of next week, as we get closer to the start of July, temperatures will remain in the middle 90s, just a 10% chance for some showers.
Hopefully we can get a good drink of water today. Thank you, Casey, and a good Tuesday morning to you, Central Texas. We've had kind of a little bit of everything going on. So Really seeing some big delays right now. If you're coming in from North Austin, we actually have a rolled over vehicle that's kind of clogging things up. So kind of add that to the mix of things that are already going on here. And about 2 miles of backup starting at Parmer. And then this is all trickling down if you're heading towards Central Austin or maybe downtown today. And that rolled over vehicles at Rutherford Lane. So seeing some delays there. We had kind of an issue along 51st Street. And then, of course, on top of this, following that train incident, that freight train a little bit earlier, and that person that was unfortunately hit. And, you know, of course, Cap Metro travel is being impacted today at Cherrywood and Clarkson Ave. So there's Cap Metro folks out there kind of helping to coordinate. They've got a bus working right now for anyone that needs that travel today. And then if you are traveling southbound from the Austin terminal, unfortunately, this is still a full closure at 183. Really hoping they can open this up here. And that is at William Cannon Drive at McKenzie Road. And then seeing our typical slowdowns coming into the northbound lanes as well, and feeling that through South Austin as well. San Marcos is looking good if you are heading out the door today, but here's a look. So Round Rock, Manor, Oak Hill, you guys are also slowing down on 290, and then Buda, you guys are going 21 miles per hour as you are coming in from South Austin today.
Slow and go, as we might expect on a Tuesday morning, right? As we get ready to the heart of rush hour. How about something lighter now? Some new music is coming soon from Maroon 5 and Cardi B.
Oh, I saw her album art last night. And a brand new superhero in Disney Plus, Melissa Adon breaks down what's happening in Hollywood.
Baby, you're priceless.
A new Maroon 5 album and a tour. That's priceless. The band's new album, Love Is Like, their first since 2021, will be out August 15th. A U.S. arena tour starts in October. For much of the album, Maroon 5 brought their songwriting back in-house, which guitarist James Valentine says was a welcome development.
We were all really excited because we had a run where we were working with a lot of really amazing, talented producers and songwriters, and that yielded some amazing songs. But in the beginning, it was just the 5 of us in a room sort of writing these songs together.
If I'm gonna protect people, I gotta start thinking outside the box.
The new Marvel series Ironheart hits Disney Plus today. Dominique Thorne stars as Riri Williams, a genius MIT student who built a suit of armor to rival Iron Man's. Marvel is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News.
7 years and the time has come.
Rapper Cardi B has announced that her long-awaited sophomore album, Am I the Drama?, will be dropping September 16th. Her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, came out in 2018. And actress-producer Mindy Kaling is 46 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Whoa. Okay, so Maroon 5's tour will be stopping in Austin. The concert is scheduled for November 4th. At the Moody Center. Tickets go on sale this Friday. You used to love him, right?
I did used to love him. I used to have a huge crush on him when I was
Used to? What happened? What happened?
I mean, I think he's had some issues.
He's had a little bit of drama on the side.
Has he? Well, let's spill the drama. What was the drama?
It was mama drama is what it was. We were going to get into it.
Okay.
Apparently he's not the nicest guy, but I would still go to the concert.
Yeah. Songs are good, right?
I know. I need to just stay on the Moody website because I feel like they just have so many good acts coming through, and it's a really beautiful place, too.
It's a great place to watch a concert, too. It sounds really good in there, doesn't it?
It does. The acoustics are very nice.
I guess, which is good for a concert. You want it to sound good, right?
Oh, we just love when it actually sounds good at the concert.
You know, you went to the Irwin Center. It sounded like you were in
kind of busted.
Yeah, like you were in some sort of a warehouse. Now it's like you're actually in a concert venue, you know? Just
and then
like,
Cardi B, I was shocked by that, too, so I guess she hadn't had an album in a good while.
I had no idea she'd only had one album out. That's crazy. To be as popular as she has been.
Crazy, right? I know.
Just living on that 6-year-old album.
Right.
Must have been really good, though.
Alrighty, and Dolly Parton is going to Las Vegas, right? The whole world is crazy, but at least Dolly's here.
She's here.
Oh, I do have to see her at least once in my life. She has booked a mini residency. Parton will perform her hit songs in 6 shows at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in December, and you already know she's going to have all her sparkly Christmas outfits. And, you know, this is a rare event because she hasn't been on tour in nearly 10 years. Her last residency ended in 1993, and if you want to be a part part of Dolly live in Las Vegas. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, and I'm sure they're going to be a complete arm and a leg. And I'll just dream about being there. No, I'm kidding. I just love her so much.
Maybe it'll be a Christmas present for somebody.
Oh, that'd be
That's
nice.
right.
Very nice gift.
I like Dolly Parton because she stands the test of time, right? She lost her husband this year. That was very sad. But you see Dolly Parton and you just think of fun, good, fun thoughts and good songs that she's sung over the years. I like her. I
She
think she's a
cares
good
deeply
person.
for people too. And she grew up in poverty, and I feel like her whole life has looked out for those folks, and I love what she's done for reading, for children, and we need more artists like her, I think.
Scandal free, right?
Scandal free. Yeah, that we know of. You know, I'm kidding. Yeah.
That we know of for sure. All right, the Dallas Cowboys social media team is back at it again with the funny and trendy videos they're so good at.
This time, the online video involves a blindfolded cowboy and his hat. Let's take a look.
Oh, come on. Oh, my. That's a lot of touching.
Perfect.
Perfect.
How did he do it? Can I thank my mom on here? Thank you, Mom. Couldn't have done that without you or any of this, quite frankly. I don't think anybody's going to do better than that.
Gotta thank the mama. Cute.
That's pretty funny. That's offensive lineman Tyler Smith. The social media team blindfolded members of the team, spun them around a few times, just like pin the tail on the donkey, and then asked them to try to pin the hat on the cowboy. That's how they got him kind of acquainted with being, I guess, a rookie in the NFL. You got to, West Marvian Overshawn, he's not a rookie. He's a third-year guy. He'll be back.
Him.
Oh, he's a little crooked with the hat, though. Little crooked with the hat.
He's all stressed out. Oh, he tried it on his own head.
And you see his number, too. We got to mention that,
Yeah. This guy's like a pro.
There's the tight end, Jake Ferguson. DeMarvion Overshawn will be 0, number 0, Agent 0, as they called him when he was here, wearing that number. But they had the mascot wore number 0. So Jerry wouldn't let DeMarvion have that number because I guess Rowdy is the mascot, had the number 0. Then they changed their mind. And now after he comes back from his knee injury, he'll be Agent 0 again.
I like it. I think Jerry's going to loosen up a little bit this season, which I think will benefit everyone, right?
Yeah.
What makes you say that? Is there a reason you say that?
Well, I think that this season with the cheerleaders is kind of the boot to the behind on him. And then I just think there's been a lot of, press and everything that's happened this last season, a lot of learning lessons. And then this new coach, I think, maybe can take the reins a little bit and say, hey, we've been all friends. I've got this now. And we'll see a little bit.
I think it's fun because you two probably going to Cowboy games for years and years. And the cheerleaders were always just kind of part of the game atmosphere. But now with this show, you know them just like you know probably more than you know some of the players in their personal lives. It's kind of made it more fun, at least for me as a fan, to know who they are.
Well, they have new merch and it says, I came for the cheerleaders, especially when the game's kind of going south. It's like, heck, I just want to see these beautiful ladies dance around.
I just started the new season.
Good.
Yesterday. Very good start.
Is it good?
It is good, yeah.
They're tough as nails. It's hard.
I know it.
Yep.
Now they're getting a big raise, right? Wasn't that a story we had a couple of days ago?
Yep, 400%. Yep.
So what does that mean? What does that go? What does that amount to? It sounds like a huge number, but was it like?
I think it's still only a couple hundred per game.
Yeah, because wasn't it like only $100 per game that they were getting before?
Yeah, so it's just a little bit more of that.
Yeah. It's
Which, you think about $9 billion, and then here you go, I'll throw you some more cash. It's like,
It's crazy. How many of them are there? Do you guys know off the top of your head?
37 or 36.
36.
Yeah, they're very strict about the last one. And Jerry's daughter chimes in, and she always gives the sign of approval. And it's kind of funny. The head coaches of the cheerleaders, they live in my hometown, and they're very strict. They have a whole rule book. They literally on a page it says, "Smile at every living thing." That's right. I'm dead serious. They
showed like little segments of it at the start of the first episode, and you kind of got to read little snippets, and it's like, wow.
That is funny.
That's strict.
Well, I'm ready for football season. I'm ready for the cheerleaders to be there. I'm just ready.
Me too.
Not far off now. What are we, less than 100 days now?
I guess so. It's we're wrapping up June.
I know.
Bring it up.
July.
73 days. Wait, just in 73 days.
We have
for
the
those
exact
who
number.
counted. We know now.
73 days.
All right, before we go, here are 3 things to know on this Tuesday morning. Happening later today, the ERCOT Board of Directors will be meeting right here in Austin with another hot summer underway. Grid reliability Another concern, leaders will talk summer power demand, conservation notices, plans to keep the lights on across Texas, which of course that's a good thing. The meeting will be live streamed. You can find that on ERCOT's website.
And Austin ISD is holding a virtual open house tonight to get feedback on its draft school consolidation tool. The district says the tool will help guide decisions on possible school closures, consolidations, boundary changes. You can join the meeting on Zoom in English or Spanish. Links are on the district's website.
And are you ready for some fireworks? Fireworks now on sale here in Texas. You can buy them beginning today through midnight on the 4th of July. Now in Texas, you can legally buy the fireworks during certain times of the year, usually the 10 days leading up to July 4th and 10 days leading up to New Year's Eve, the big fireworks holidays. You can buy them in Travis County, but it's only legal to launch them in unincorporated areas of the county. At least that's the rule. We all know rules sometimes are broken.
She's
right?
already been hearing them. This is her first summer in Texas, and your sweet little dog hates them.
Yeah, I know this
Kringle.
time of year is always dreaded because I love fireworks, but my dog does not. So I think a lot of dogs down, and they
Most
get
dogs.
really scared. So they've already been shooting off in my neighborhood.
Wow.
For my sleep.
Getting it started early.
Getting an early start. At least I think the 4th of July is a Friday this year, right? So at least there's a going in. If you don't have to work the weekend, going into the weekend, it won't be too bad to be.
Right.
Sleep in a little bit.
Wake up, early, and we're hearing the fireworks going off all night long.
Yes.
That's
Still
also
going
the
off.
worst thing of being on this schedule where you're trying to get to sleep, but you're just hearing fireworks.
Bloodshot eyes and
Oh, man.
every summer.
Today's going to be hot as a firework, isn't it?
It'll be hot and humid, but we've got a chance for some showers and storms. Today, tomorrow, 30% chance, so that's a pretty decent chance compared to what we've had recently. I think these will be arriving after about 2, 3 o'clock today, especially for areas along and east of I-35, so not a bad idea to have the umbrella with you. Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend, we are drying things out and heating things up 98 degrees by Friday and Saturday afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on KVUE Plus. We're going to do a little cut-in, and then we're going to start the whole circus again tomorrow. 4:30 a.m. We'll be fresh out of the gate.
Is that going to be tomorrow, too? I thought we got the day off tomorrow. I guess we'll be back 4:30 to 7.
Little hump day break. Wouldn't that be nice?
Nice. And then, of course, Daybreak Plus. We're on every day from 7 to 8 a.m. We're so glad you're with us, and we hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.